Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and I'm sorry I haven't been posting anything lately or continuing the story. If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't been reading The Crimson Grin due to the fact I was kind of busy doing other requests. I hope you guys don't mind. But we'll continue reading Chapter 5 of The Crimson Grin. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. Previously of The Crimson Grin, right before everyone began to scream and run, I noticed the last detail on the wall. There was something written in blood. It said, "Don't be expecting tomorrow," with a giant smiley face in the bottom. A wide smile spread across my face as chaos broke around me. Everyone was screaming and running around. Some even slipped on the blood that was coated the floor. I muffled a laugh that escaped my lips as people nearly trampled each other just to get out of the door. People shoved me near me, knocking me over several times. But I couldn't keep my eyes away from the gory sight before me. What a sly man, being able to time everything so perfectly. He even managed to escape. The teachers were yelling, trying to keep everyone calm, but it's quite obvious that they were trying hard themselves not to be terrified. The horrible, disgusting, fearful looks on their faces made my heart warm. I began along a different hallway, starting towards the exit. I'm sure it would take a lot less time. A couple of stray students or kids ran by me, their tear-stained faces causing me to giggle. Oh, the glorious of chaos surrounding me. And it was all because of the bloody painter. I pushed open the back door, started my direction the distance of the long sidewalk, police sirens screaming as they were possibly getting closer. Again, with the sounds of an ambulance. They should have called the coroner instead. Then again, I'm sure several kids that were trampled are in the middle of the chaos or panic. A new van spread by me. I shook my head. Really? Ugh. I feel sorry for those poor saps they interview. Well, I would feel sorrow if I gave a damn. Clouds dotted the sky. The sun was not being blocked by any of them. Yet harsh wind blew, sending my hair spreading into my face. I started down my street as I approached my home. The street was stench with the metallic blood that still lingered as I inhaled a gulp of air. Still, I was wondering what was going on, or what was I going to do with the jar of blood. Honestly, I was considering on using it a few days ago, but I definitely wasn't. But I found myself possibly pondering deeper and deeper down the depths of my insanity. I would be lying if I said I didn't feel like it. It's just as if the bloody painter guy is showing me a different way of life that could change into something more. Happiness lies that at every corner, even though he's basically doing it for me. I entered my house. It was empty as always. I started up to my room after letting my bag drop to the floor with a hard thud. When I entered my room in a rush of excitement and terror flooded over me. There, sitting on my chair in front of my canvas, sat the bloody painter himself. It appears as he was been here waiting for me. The jar of blood lid open at his side as a paintbrush numbly between his fingers as he painted on the once blank canvas. My mouth dropped and opened in shock. My heart nearly pounded out of my chest. His head slowly turned towards me. In the small distance between us, I could see his eyes were a gorgeous sky blue. Then again, they were cold and brutal, along with charming. Hello? I whispered with an offering smile. He nodded his head in a polite gesture. I suppose he nearly felt as awkward as I did, as, at the moment, "You're the bloody painter." I started, not even coming out as a question. I saw his eyes narrow and then turn back to normal. He nodded and cocked his head to the side. I guess he was wondering if I was going to take off running and screaming. I slowly sat on my bed. My smile was still light on my face. "I'm Jody," I introduced myself, tucking a lock of my red hair behind my ear. "I know," he scoffed, returning his attention to the canvas. My eyes widened in shock by hearing his voice for the first time. It was the average voice from a deep male, smooth yet slightly rusty. I blinked a few times, watching as he continued to work. "I wanted to thank you for all that you've done," I whispered as my cheeks flushed a bit. This was too awkward for my liking. He paused, his blue eyes glancing at me. Confusion lingered in them. "You're welcome," he finally responded, sounding unsure. My eyes furrowed as I wondered what was going through his head. "I was just wondering." "Why?" I questioned. He abruptly stood up and towered over me. His cold blue eyes were sinister yet mysterious and depth into them. "You were going to be one of my victims," he started in a matter of fact. This cut remark stung me a bit, but I didn't take it too much to heart. "I've been watching you for a while, as you were probably aware. But I saw you were a lot like me." He sighed as he sat back into the chair. He ran a hand through his ruffled black hair, and instinctively falling back into place over his mask. "In dental, I should say, musicians and misters alone instead of in the entrance of arts. An interest in the darkness," he chuckled. Dangerous vibes surrounding him. So I decided to wait to see what would happen. "You shocked me more and more each day," he continued. "So you kept me alive because I was like you?" I scoffed it, finding it hard to believe. "I kept you alive because I saw me in you," he growled. "You were so close to cracking, Joni. You must know that." I could nearly sense the mischievous grin that could have laid on his face. I would be lying if I said if I haven't felt like that. I sighed as I continued out as a whisper. "My thoughts gotten possibly darker," I responded honestly. He nodded his head, dipping the paintbrush in the clear glass of water as he continued to wash as the crimson liquid evaporated in the water, swirling it around it as it continued consuming into the glass. "So, did you plan on killing me?" I asked, pursing my lips, hoping more than anything that he wouldn't say yes. That would probably destroy me. He was silent for a moment, dipping the paintbrush back into the blood as he drew a simple line on the canvas. His eyes were deep in thought. "No, I doubt I will, unless you do something rash." He cleared his throat, and I knew he meant calling the police or telling people. "I would really like... And why am I here? Is it to see that if you were become sort of an assistant to me?" he began, pausing and staring over at me. "You mean killing people too?" I asked. "Absolutely sure. I have thought about killing people multiple times, but I never thought I'd actually do it. So, maybe, but not right off the bat," he chuckled. You're more like an assistant while I do it. So you could choose some of the victims. I know good and well of your enemies and not dismiss them. I was left in thought sweeping through my mind, also thinking of the damage or dangers of all. If we were caught by the police, so would I. What if you get caught? I would be taken to jail for helping you, I replied. I have never been caught, and I don't plan to. He huffed, his sapphires narrowing once more. We will start off the basics. Just like jarring the blood, placing them in the refrigerator so it doesn't dry. Simple little tasks like that, which do not put you in harm's way. Then you can become assistant to me on killing, placing the ropes around their ankles, silencing them, such as that. It was like will make things a lot quicker. And then you can be killing on your own. He consoled, wiping the brush of the paint against the edge of the jar. My eyes widened as I took all this in, and my heart was thumping off the beat. Why would this killer choose me to be an assistant of somewhat sort? Hell, it sounded like a partner. Don't most killers prefer working alone? That's what I thought. But the bloody painter said that he saw potential in me. He saw him in me. I guess that's some kind of life that I had. So he did feel sorrow for me. Or just what happened to some people that got in his work done. Or maybe, just maybe, is he feeling sort of tang of loneliness like I felt each day? Is that why he wants me to accompany him? I pursed my lips before looking up to meet his eyes. Yes, I will help you.